Hey everybody, welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
So it's summer right now, unless you're watching the show at any point in the future, in which case it's an evergreen episode. But for right now, it's summertime, which means views for ComicPop are in the fucking toilet. Despite all the Marvel properties and all the DC projects, nobody's watching. So, since nobody's watching, I'm gonna do a book that is quintessentially Back Issues. So here we go. It's an Elseworlds book.
Okay.
If you're not familiar, the Elseworlds concept is an idea that DC long since abandoned and replaced with way worse concepts. It is basically DC's What If, only with like more effort. Like DC's Elseworlds and Marvel's What If are like the only analogs, and it's kind of like when you compare Marvel and DC, where it's like, oh, they're one-to-one, and then you like go, oh, fundamentally speaking, they're actually
very
not.
different.
Like, they're completely different things. What If is like a dumping ground for new artists. It's like, you want to prove you can do a monthly book? Write this piece of shit that no one cares about, and then just go for it. You know,
What if the Silver Surfer was bronze?
Right. I mean, like, it might as well be those premises. But it's like, what if this event that sold horribly, like Atlantis Attacks, ended really bad? Oh, well, it'd be really short, apparently, because it would have to fit within, like, 22 pages, despite the fact that that thing is, like, at least an omnibus. By the way, What If has since evolved and become better. Like, there was this weird nebulous period in, like, the 2000s where they went like, hey, you know, we have that What If thing? Like, let's try. And so, like, occasionally do, like, What If Annihilation, What If Civil War, and What If Spider-Man versus Wolverine. Like, some really interesting ideas came out of that.
And soon it's going to be a show.
But actually, Chip Zdarsky had a really big issue with the fact that, like, Marvel doesn't make evergreen books, but DC does. DC always makes these trades or these hardcovers or these graphic novels that you can get anywhere for every character. And so if you're just like off the street, I don't know who Batman is, here's 16 graphic novels that each give you like a distillation of who that character is. And it's like usually an award-winning book, and it's in a nice hardbound edition. And Marvel's like, watch the shows, I guess. I don't know. Like, they have no plan for anything.
Pick up some random issues from the like 40, 60-year run.
Right, go to your local comic book store. Lost me.
Well, here's a good arc that you can read.
Yeah.
You'll also need these are the tie-in books. Oh, and you have to know about these are the characters,
Right,
too.
exactly.
They're going to constantly reference things that like just happened,
Yeah.
that, as if you read, but you didn't.
Right, and if you don't, like, you know, part of the fun is going to find out what it means. And by the way, that is true. I like that. That's what, you know, that appeals to a certain type of person.
Yes.
Yeah, a person who likes to go to the
fraction
library
of the
and
population.
research.
Or at least a person with a letter A next to the type of person they are. So he made Life Story, which is basically a What If book, but it's like a evergreen Spider-Man trade paperback. And then he's like, what about What If? And so he designed a new logo for What If, and he launched with the Spider-Man book because of course you do. And he's like, What If books are like dumb because they're only like 22 pages. And it's like, you don't really have enough time to really get into it if you're really legitimately trying to tell that story.
Yeah.
And so he did like a 5 or 6 issue miniseries that is a What If comic, and like springboarded that into the new era for What If, which could, for all I know, be dead by the time you watch this episode because they're trying one more after that. And so we'll see what happens. I hope it stays because it's a good idea.
Well, then they're going to spin off into Where If and
Oh,
Why
God.
If.
But DC Elseworlds was more like, what if Batman were Superman? What if Batman were Green Lantern? What if Batman were in the 1800s? What if Batman this, Batman that, and sometimes Wonder Woman, but you're not going to buy that one, so how about Wonder Woman was Batman? Like, it's just what if, but.
There's a lot more freedom, too, because you're not hemmed in by the prior story. Like,
No.
What If is like, it's
That
everything
thing you
that
read.
happened except we change one thing.
Yes.
And then, but it's like, well, then I have to, all these characters are tied into who they were before.
Exactly.
Whereas with Elseworlds, like, Scott, you can do anything.
Yeah, starting from scratch, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool. It's great that DC abandoned it. Good job. You know, I talk about it with reverence, but the reality is, like, most of the Elseworlds,
Yeah.
some of them are pretty good. And that's like the highest praise I can give most Elseworlds books.
I'm sure that the Elseworlds books that were really, really good,
Yeah.
like, they're all considered, like, you know, iconic graphic novels.
They are basically, yeah, they dropped that label long ago. Like, I guess technically Dark Knight Returns is an Elseworlds book. Kingdom Come, I believe, is an Elseworlds book.
Right.
Yeah, but we don't call them Elseworlds
We don't call them
books.
that no more.
Yeah.
No. But sometimes you get into the weeds with these Elseworlds books, and you're like, why did you do this? Such it is with Superman at Earth's End from Tom Veitch and Frank Gomez.
Okay.
This is...
That cover is horrible. That's straight up awful.
At least, you know what? I really respect this cover because
I-
it really telegraphs what this is about to be.
I appreciate the fact
which is
that
horrible.
they give it a painty background.
Yeah.
Like,
No, this is like a texture. It's like the ground.
yeah, like rust and
Yeah.
dirt and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're being artsy.
It's like
Right?
Mars.
It is-
It's like,
yeah.
what if Earth turned into
Well,
a scorched
Earth's End.
hellscape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard people refer to this or reference it or pick it up, and they're like, what the fuck is happening? Because at the opening of the book, Superman, who looks like Santa Claus if he were written by Grant Morrison, is being held back by cyborg robot men screaming, "You're not blowing up Gotham City." And you're like, what? Like, there's no context
Right.
for anything that's happening.
Just jump in.
Just jumping in feet first, and it makes no attempt to contextualize you because it's not really an original story.
So this isn't like a what if, where we get a little bit of background.
No.
Like,
There's
hey,
no
remember-
watcher who's like, let me tell you about what's going on here. Elseworlds didn't have a watcher, and it wouldn't be until Tales from the Dark Multiverse that we would get one, and it sucks.
I beg your pardon. Tempest Fugonaut is a
Worthy successor.
wonderful character.
Yes, rich
Ooh.
character, lots of backstory.
I can't even
terrific
finish
guy.
that thought.
No, I love Tempest Fugonaut. If only for the kitsch. I want DC to make a Tempest Fugonaut statue, so you could be
Yes.
on the set and watch over us all the time. So
No,
you
if he's here, we're part of the world that should not exist.
aren't we
Yeah,
though?
but maybe one of us will be chosen to be like rescued from
Ah,
it by
yes,
him.
yes. Yeah, because remember, Tempest Fugonaut, he's building up that Justice
Yeah,
League, and
we
he'll
could
be
be on
doing
his
that
team.
forever.
Oh yeah, he's building up that Justice League. Well, I've seen this story. I'm not going to pick anyone from it.
Oh, that's right. He literally
Never
never
mind,
picks
let me go
anybody.
home.
He doesn't
Somebody
pick a single person.
No. Superman at Earth's End is actually a sequel to another book that Tom Veitch wrote called Come on D at Earth's End, which was a 6-issue miniseries Elseworlds book featuring the Jack Kirby character Come on D. Now, here's the thing, you don't know who that is.
No.
So we got to give you context for Come on D, and then give you context for this miniseries that we're not going to talk about that gives you context for this book. That's like
my
only 30 pages long. So here we go. Come on D was a Jack Kirby creation of basically this post-apocalyptic Tarzan boy. Come on D is the last boy on Earth, and he lives in like the desolated wasteland of Earth.
Okay.
And there was this first cataclysmic event, the first apocalypse, and Jack Kirby was very direct about the fact that he's like, no, it was not nuclear war. Never tell them what it was, but also don't do the nuclear war thing. It's been done to death. I think he created it in the 70s. So he's like, no,
Yeah,
we're
there
not
could be
doing that.
fallout. That doesn't mean that, like, you know,
That was the
it was nukes that destroyed Earth.
no, exactly. That was not the apocalypse.
Well, it can't be radioactive fallout
Right,
if there
because
wasn't.
Commandee's got to walk around, he's got to swim in the ocean and stuff.
So you said there was fallout, though. What does that mean?
little references that like
Nuclear reactors
the
probably failed.
Nuclear reactors may have fallen out. Maybe there was a nuke or two that went off.
I see, but it
know.
wasn't like a complete.
Yeah, it wasn't nuclear war that ended
Okay.
the world.
All right.
And so Command the Last Boy, literally he's named after the bunker, like the Fallout-esque bunker that he came from called Command D.
Okay.
And so it's a bastardization of that title
Sure.
that he adopted for himself. And it's just like a fun little like adventure book about this boy in the post-apocalypse.
But if he's the last boy on Earth,
Right.
what does his adventure entail? He
Well, you know, there's sentient animal people and stuff.
What?
So, well, it's an opportunity for Jack Kirby to play in the environment of, you know, the fantastical while also grounding it in reality, which is something he likes to do.
Yeah, he's the last boy. That doesn't mean there aren't other living things.
Exactly.
Like animal
Sure.
people.
Right, like
animal
animal people
people.
and adults.
Were they part of the apocalypse? The
Yeah,
animal
they
people?
were born from the apocalypse, or they were like the last vestiges of humanity that crawled out from the rubble of the apocalypse. But the idea here is that like it's just a fun little adventure, escapism, you know, Robinson Crusoe-esque comic book about like you're the boy reading the comic book and you're imagining getting carte blanche to like run around New York and, you know, make a raft and row it in the Hudson and catch big crazy fish that are irradiated from whatever. You
No,
know
I
what
saw
mean?
this movie. This was
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
Yeah, but instead of it being a really sad man, it's a fun-loving boy.
Right, and there's no vampires.
And
I'm
there's
sorry,
no vampires.
I can't connect with that.
Right.
It's impossible.
Well, no, because you're too old. If you were a boy, you'd buy that comic. Anyway, Tom Veitch, who, by the way, we've done his books on this couch, he wrote Star Wars Dark Empire.
Oh.
Yeah. So he wrote this 6-issue miniseries, unforgivably long. that DC was like, first of all, oh, did you say you wanted to write an Elseworlds book? Sweet. Who's it starring? Batman? No. Superman? No. Wonder Woman? Stop. I'm just going to cut to the chase. It's Come On D, the Last Boy.
You don't know who this is.
No one
I
knows
made
who
up.
this is.
No. Jack Kirby created Come On
that's
D
right.
in the
That's
70s.
a thing Jack
but
Kirby made up.
In the 90s, like 1998, 99, Tom Veitch is like, Come On D, we're going to do this. Come On D at Earth's End, 6 issues. And what happens to those six issues? Very little. He masturbates a lot.
Oh.
And there's
Weird
these
thing to put in the book.
yeah, but like we don't show it because he gets into like a virtual reality simulator.
What? There's virtual reality simulators at the end of the world?
Well, okay, so first of all, remember it's an Elseworlds book, so it's not in canon for Come On D by Jack Kirby. This is an alternate reality Elseworlds book that's basically just the same thing, but he's a little older, he wears sunglasses, and he jerks off at a robot machine. To virtual reality like chicks.
Right.
I mean, if you have a virtual reality robot jerking off machine, you use it.
You use it to an obscene degree. And so that's that book. Oh, also there's like these robots that were created that were built by a league of scientists who created these like android men who you see holding Superman back. We're tying it in, you know?
Oh.
And they were tasked with discovering why there was a second apocalypse. You see, there was a first apocalypse. That was the one that created the Come On D future.
Are you allowed to call it an apocalypse if there's another one afterwards?
Well, I mean, like, right? How would you tell? But there were people who dragged themselves out of the rubble, tried to make, do with what they got, and then another event happened. And Come On D was forced back underground, or maybe in this Elseworlds version, he never left. And maybe that's the idea, is that he's been underground, and like he would have come out from underground, but there's another...
But I've got my robot masturbating machine.
Right.
Why would I come out?
Exactly. And so, there's this AI called Mother that basically is the sex robot, but also raised him and is modeled after the woman that gave birth to him. And she kind of is also the reason for the second apocalypse. And the
What?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
It doesn't matter. It's a horror. I can't stress how bad it is, but you just need to understand that, like, the robots that like run everything, they come from the city in the sky that was like saved from the apocalypse, and they were basically sent as like recon droids to like figure out exactly what the hell happened and what's going on down there. And then they get it in their heads that they also have to like save the world. They also have Superman like in their clutches, and he survived both apocalypses, and he's all like messed up. He's all messed up
Why didn't he save the world?
because he was powerless to do so. Maybe
Because-
the cataclysms depowered him. There's not really a good explanation as to why Superman didn't do Dick
Yeah, maybe
back
they
in
blocked
those
out the
two other
sun.
things. Well, that's the thing, is that like in the Sky City he has access to the sun's radiation, but he didn't have access to it, and so he's kind of like depowered, or at the very least brainwashed by these robots to do the bidding of the Science Council. So Superman and Come On D go toe to toe, and then ultimately team up. And then ultimately, Come On D learns that it's better to have sex than to jerk off, and he meets this girl, and he rejects the place they came from, and he moves on, and he and she decide to like repopulate the Earth. And Superman's like, cool, I'm gonna go back to the Sky City with my robot friends, because all they wanted to do was find out why the world ended a second time.
And I can just tell them, because I'm
Right.
Superman.
Well,
I should
they
know.
were there too with him. So like they decided to take him with them. They're like, well, we're done. We figured it out. So they go, and they're like, oh man, Superman, you're gonna love our plan now that we know what happened for phase 2. And phase 2 is this book.
Okay.
You can't repopulate the
Jesus.
planet with 2 people.
Well, I mean, God did, right?
That's a story.
Yeah, well, so is this.
I guess.
Ah, checkmate, Ethan. So that, I mean, like,
But it's supposed to be metaphorical.
but here's the thing.
This is supposed to be actually happening.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah, that's an allegory. This is not. No, that literally happens though. And in that book, they run into other people. They run into like adults and stuff. It's just that these are the youngest people. In the apocalypse.
Okay. All right. So there are other people.
Oh, yeah.
They aren't solely responsible for repopulating the
No,
Earth.
but they do feel that responsibility, and they like
Right.
say it out loud.
Well, they're part of
the repopulation effort,
of
but
the
they
Earth.
say that like we're the last 2 and we're going to repopulate the Earth. But maybe they're doing it kind of symbolically, like we're going to
Right.
lead the charge, find people, and then have sex with them all. But like that's
Bang, bang!
yeah, just get in the pile. We gotta save this planet.
I know, let's go underground in a giant cave and play techno music.
Yeah. Hey, we're like, actually, I think this book came out in '99.
Oh,
Matrix.
it's right around.
Right around there.
Yeah.
I got this had to come before Matrix. But anyway, so Superman goes up into the city in the clouds and like absorbs the sun's radiation and becomes Superman again. Or at the very least he gets to full power because that's what the narrator, the omniscient narrator says.
Okay.
In this book.
Does that like help him remember shit?
Yeah, oh yeah, no, he gets snapped out of it during that miniseries. Now he's
okay.
Superman again, except not. So if you were to give a what-if premise for this Elseworlds book, Superman at Earth's End is basically, what if Superman wasn't at all? or better yet, what if someone who hated Superman was tasked with writing a Superman Elseworlds story? Or like, what if
Wow, that's
Superman
metaphorical.
never acted like Superman at any point during a book that has his title on it?
What if Superman sucks?
Yeah, what if Superman is garbage? Or what if Superman was broken down to something barely recognizable so that people who would never like Superman would love Superman?
He's like some kind of asshole.
I mean, he becomes one.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, everyone in this book is some kind of asshole. Legit.
Well, it is the apocalypse, post-apocalypse.
Right.
Part 2.
Yeah. If this was post-apocalypse, I'd be some kind of asshole.
Easily.
Yeah, especially if there was
kill you guys and eat
another
your
one.
Because that's the thing, is either eating people or rats, and no way am I going to maintain some kind of semblance of humanity at that point.
Well, in no way am I going to be able to catch enough rats to keep myself satiated.
No, so I'm eating people. So, phase 2 of these robots' plan is to blow up Gotham City. And Superman's like, what? That's where Batman used to live 100 years ago. Because did I mention that's 100 years in the future? Because it is.
Gotham is not populated anymore?
Now, it is, but with like crazy mutates and scavengers and stuff.
Wait, shouldn't this be where Terry lives?
Yeah, but that's, no.
Yeah, we're not in that future.
We're not dealing with that yet. Because we haven't maybe invented Batman Beyond yet, and even if we did, it's still a cartoon show. It's not in this. Ben Boxer is the head robot guy who was established in the previous miniseries, and he's friends with Superman as much as anyone can be friends in this nightmare universe. But Ben Boxer's like, dude, no, here's the thing. Everybody in that city is gross, and like we just got through like getting the pretty people back on the surface, and they're gonna fucking make other pretty people, and so we got to make room for all the pretty people that are coming. And we got to get rid of all like the gross mutates and monsters and stuff, and they're all kind of like concentrated in Gotham City. So
I was gonna say,
we're gonna nuke it.
If you've got like crime families and like the Penguins minions and Joker clowns and shit like that,
Yeah.
you know what? Nuke Gotham.
Right.
Fuck it.
But that's not there. Like
No,
there's
this
no
sounds like
vestiges
these are
of
just-
that. No,
this
there's
is just a Mad Max future.
Yes,
in
but
Gotham.
By the way, it's 100 years later. There were 2 apocalypses, but still there are buildings in Gotham that are up. Like it looks like a city.
Like it never got
Like it
physically
never got
destroyed.
nuked or destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's how strong Gotham is.
Yes, and Superman makes a point of saying that. He talks about how like Gotham City was like the guiding light of modern society, and I'm like, no,
No, it wasn't.
You are incorrect. You're from Metropolis. That's the city of tomorrow, you asshole. So Ben Boxer and Superman have a big climactic fight in the first page of the book, and you're like, who the fuck is Ben Boxer? But Ben Boxer, he gives his spiel. He explains his reasoning.
Okay.
It's infested with freaks, muties, and it's a cesspool of genetic corruption.
Genetic corruption.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, don't like get too hung up on words being used in this because they're not
And
used
what they mean.
right because not used correctly.
Okay.
I was gonna say genetic corruption sounds weird because he's literally talking to an alien.
Right, and he himself is like a biomechanical man.
Yeah.
Right. But maybe he has this idea that like, no, we're gonna, but like, regardless of what I am, like there should be like pure
Yes,
humans
exactly.
on the earth.
Right.
And I'm gonna try to like bring that back.
Yeah, that's just his programming.
Yeah. I don't want them to be gross.
Yeah.
Okay, but still.
Well, then you shouldn't have them like all incest fuck
What's-
like
Right,
kids.
exactly. By the way, that also comes into play because there's a big point about like the purity of race at the end of this story.
Oh.
Oh no.
But it has nothing to do with these robots. But I think the Science Council made both of them, both the antagonist of the story and Ben Boxer. They all came from the same place, so my guess is they're probably just going from a similar line of code that says like keep things pure. I don't know. But we'll get into
Okay.
it. I promise. It's gonna
Right.
be a lot more black and white in a minute. So Superman says, and I'm making a point of using this dialogue specifically because it's kind of the headline of the story, where Superman says, "And you're gonna wipe out that city with just your big guns, aren't you?"
I don't understand how destroying one city is going to take care of all the genetic corruption
Me
on
either,
Earth.
and neither does Tom Veach.
Because they're all there, apparently.
Yeah, they all gather there?
Yeah, well,
Why?
there are more people in Gotham, or living beings in Gotham, than anywhere else I had seen in the previous series. So maybe they're congregating there. Maybe
Maybe Gotham's like the last city?
it's not.
Oh.
So no, like I wanted to kind of follow that on with
Yeah.
like maybe there was, but like no.
No, there are other cities.
There are other places.
Yeah, the rest of the world got wrecked, even Metropolis.
Yeah.
And
So-
Gotham is just
So the
standing strong.
basic premise upon which this book rests makes no sense.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right. So
So there's just nowhere to plant your feet. Got it.
no, that's right. You can't get acclimated, and that's why like nobody likes the story.
Okay.
But don't worry, even if you have the acclimation of having read the 6-issue slog of that other book, it's still a nightmare.
Okay.
It's still a fever.
It doesn't
dream.
matter, yeah.
So Superman punches Ben in the stomach and like reveals his gooey robot.
Oh no, his
organs.
goo.
Yeah, don't worry, he's fine. He'll fix himself. But he's
Right.
like, you know, I'm a man and you're a robot. Watch, man. And he like breaks his flesh and blasts out his wires. And he's like, I'm gonna go. You're not gonna nuke Gotham on Y Watch, so I'm going to leave and go to Gotham.
And not stop you.
That's right.
Right.
And don't worry, it's not like
Well, when the
they-
nuke comes, I'll just fly up and
Yeah,
grab it.
that doesn't happen. Nor do they go like, I can't believe he left. What an asshole, and then drop a nuke. They just wait for him to come to this conclusion on his own. So he leaves, and they're like, all right, well. He'll soon learn the new way of things, the power of the gun. That like guns are really important and useful. Guns are awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Superman's like, I didn't bring that up. Like I brought up that one thing about like how you're going to drop a nuke, and I likened it to a gun.
why are you
and
talking
now
about
you're talking
guns?
about the power of guns. Guns are a big thing in this book, and I don't know if this is a parody or not. And that's really the big problem with this book. If this is a parody, it's hilarious. But like not really, because it's not fun to read. So like, but if it's just legitimate, then it's weird and it's problematic.
Why are the robots just now bringing this up? Like what?
Right, because Superman had enough
This
time.
is the new way of things. What? Since
Right.
when? What?
Yeah, they're acting like
You haven't been. You
No
didn't have
time.
guns before?
Yeah.
Did someone just reinvent guns? I
no,
don't
they
understand.
absolutely are using guns. Their guns are plentiful. They're
Oh.
everywhere. across
No,
the
we just
world.
got them back. The second apocalypse was the eradication of guns, and now we
Yes.
have guns again.
Now the second apocalypse was because of the mother robot that was jerking off Commandee. But like, let's not talk about that
You
anymore.
realize that makes no sense.
Yeah, I do. So Superman is like, I am at full fucking strength, and I am feeling good, and I'm flying around the earth, and I'm seeing like, you know,
I'm
far.
gonna fly around the earth the opposite direction. Spin back time.
He
Fix all
really,
this.
you know what? That would kill him in this book. So he's like, I'm going to Gotham, and he goes, and like, it looks pretty much like Gotham.
yeah, it's fine.
It's functional. There's smoke coming out of the smokestacks.
I know.
There's people running it?
Right?
Okay.
Yeah,
But
like,
they don't-
the
we don't-
windows aren't broken.
Yeah, no. We don't even see the people in these buildings.
Right.
But Superman muses about, you know, his best friend Batman and how cool he was and how great the city was and how sad it is that he died and how he remembers that happening. And then he is faced with a Man-Bat, but not Man-Bat, the
actual
villain
Man-Bat.
from
Right.
Batman
Just
comics.
a Man-Bat.
A Man-Bat that looks kind of like Batman, and Superman assumes that it's Bruce Wayne turned into a bat.
What? He just said he was dead.
I know, but he's like, Bruce, is that you? And they fight. And then more Man-Bats or Batmen attack Superman.
Okay.
I
These
hesitate
are
to
just
call them-
gargoyles who came to life, right?
Yes, it was in the new apocalypse. Their castle was raised 1,000 feet in the air above the clouds. Their curse was broken, and they live again.
This is every gargoyle that Batman perched on in Gotham.
They're like, it's payback
After
time.
his death, they're like, we have to carry out his legacy.
Yes, we'll perch on every human we see. So Superman is like brought into the alleys of Gotham. Be cool if it was Crime Alley and there was something important that happens. Instead, it's not. And he just goes, "Come on, you uglies, let's bring it on." Classic Superman line.
Yeah, he calls people uglies.
Until the headlights come on and a roving street gang of motorcycle riding children a la Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome
Yeah.
arrive. And they talk like they're written by Frank Miller, but they're not. So it's not even like fun. It's not even like it's got the kitsch value of like, oh, crazy Uncle Frank trying to be relevant or create his own little slang. Nope, it's just these monster children with machine guns on motorcycles that go, kill them all! Let's go, we gotta teach these bats that we run these streets and Gotham's ours now. And they like,
So the bats are a big problem.
yeah, it's an infestation.
I see.
So the children mow down most of these bats, and then Superman says, whoa! And then picks up one of them and says, I said whoa!
What?
What, like you're a horse?
It's a weird
Right.
thing.
Whoa,
to
whoa
say.
there, Nelly.
And he looks the children in the eye, and reveals, number one, they're children, and number two, that they're jerks. They don't know who he is. They spit in his face.
Yeah, they're punkers.
Yeah, they're little punkers, and I hate punkers, especially bald ones with little green makeup and masks over their green faces. So the children are like, oh, this old dude must be a creation of the dictators with a K, because they're dicks.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Right? And the dictators are clearly the dictators are responsible for the Batmen and other problems that are plaguing Gotham City that is run by these children.
Even though this guy was fighting the Batman.
Oh, that's right. Well, we need to show them fighting first, so they have to put aside their differences and work together.
Is this book gonna be about Superman dealing with Gotham City's local issues?
No.
Is this going to be about how Superman becomes Santa Claus and these kids become his elves?
That would be amazing, and it would be way better of an ending than this. But they do call him Santa Claus.
Oh.
Because
It's
I mean,
look at him.
Look at him.
Here's the thing: you didn't draw Superman.
The S stands for Santa.
Yeah. Right? For all these children know, that is Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Well, they probably don't even know who Santa is.
No, they do reference him.
Oh.
And they reference Christmas. So in 100 years, despite the two apocalypses,
They still
Christianity
talk about
and Santa
Christmas.
Claus emerge victorious. One of them decides that they have a funny feeling about him and we should implicitly trust him and follow him wherever we go. So let's take him back to base. And they take him back to Wayne Manor where they are set up. Wayne Manor, of course, has a little mausoleum that Superman built for Batman when Batman died. So right outside Wayne Manor, which has been boarded up, there's also a little Batman mausoleum, and the door has been moved and Batman's corpse is missing.
Oh my God.
Doesn't that kind of reveal to everyone that Bruce Wayne was Batman?
It's been two apocalypses. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, nobody
anymore.
fucking cares.
When Batman died, it was over. So Superman is horrified to discover that the body's gone.
Has it been 3 days?
It's been 3 decades.
Okay.
But Superman can't believe that someone might have stolen Batman's remains. And then he goes, "Whoa, which one of you rotten children must have stolen?" Another classic Superman line. So they swear it was the dictators. The dictators stole Batman's body.
Okay.
And they are, So
These aren't kids. They're dwarves.
Right, no, they're not dwarves. They're not little people. They are straight up children. They're just drawn like this because it's very stylized. I don't blame Frank Gomez for drawing it like this because, you work with what
Ridiculous world.
Yeah.
You might as well have ridiculous drawings.
Exactly. These are cartoon characters.
Yeah.
It's like, do it like Mad Max meets Peter Pan. Go for it. So Superman apologizes for yelling at them a couple panels ago, and so they talk about how their parents were taken from them, and already Kamandi's entire purpose for being is gone because there were parents in this apocalypse.
Yeah.
There are children.
There's multiple children.
There's multiple children everywhere. Whatever.
No, this is Kamandi's plan. He took the adults and was like, we have to make new people.
Yes.
And then they gave birth to these kids. Like,
Right.
we can't
No,
take
that
care
just
of you.
happened.
No, but
We have to keep populating the earth. And then they move on to another city.
And that's the problem is the timeline because Superman goes to the robots and then he has to have been there for a couple of months at least because I think he says that in this book because he needed to get at full strength.
Okay.
But he's not there long enough for him to retain full strength because we need that to happen too. And yet Superman is reacting to the robots' plan, which they reference in the last page of the last series, like they're talking about it on the way to the Sky City. But he has to have already been there for time to have elapsed for him to have gotten full charge.
Right.
So
they mentioned the plan, but then they didn't. It took them a couple months to
Yes.
actually tell him what that plan was.
Which is why I'm suspicious that this is a parody. Because nothing lines up.
Right.
So Superman and the children go into Wayne Manor, and while we're in there, they're going to their base, which is the Batcave, but they got to go through the secret entrance. So they go into the house, and we see that among the regular accoutrement in Wayne Manor, there's also a little shrine for the gun that killed Bruce Wayne's parents. Thankfully, we know this because there's a sign on it that says, "The gun that killed my parents."
Like, you're going to forget what that is.
But it's just a little cardboard sign leaning against it.
Yeah, like it's a museum display.
Yeah, but only for himself. Because it's referencing himself.
In case he forgets.
The gun that killed the Waynes or my...
I'm afraid I'm going to get early onset Alzheimer's,
Yes.
so I have labels everywhere to let me know where everything is.
It's like 50 First Dates. I need to constantly inspire myself to become Batman every night. the gun that killed my parents.
Oh no!
My parents are
I
killed
better
by a gun.
train!
I better become a bat. Oh, I got a whole costume and everything. Let's go. So Superman references the gun, talks about how a gun changed Batman's life forever.
Right.
They're bad.
Once again, we're talking about guns.
Yes.
Guns. So then they go into the Batcave. They go down these tunnels. They head to the base where their parents are being kept.
Children's parents are being kept down in the
No.
Batcave?
They hang out in the Batcave. They travel 30 miles to go through the catacombs of Gotham to get to this location where the dictators have kept their parents.
Okay.
So when they get there, there's like a bunker door that is very much like Fallout again, that is evocative of Command D.
Okay.
It's all these bunkers have these doors.
Right.
And so they can't get through it, which is why they couldn't go and avenge their parents, because like they can't get through this door where their parents are being kept. And they know that.
So they've
because
tried this before. They've been stopped here, but now they
Sure.
have Superman. So now it's like, let's try again.
Right.
Okay.
And so Superman's like,
They
well,
ever tried just banging on the door and just everybody push it once?
yeah. No, because they'd be eradicated by the dictators and monsters inside.
Heave-ho!
So Superman is like, I will open this door, and then he tries, he goes, I guess I should have spent more time in Sky City, but he has enough strength for now. So he opens the door, kind of, and they go through, and they are met by giant robots that are also Mousers from Ninja Turtles, and they're ushering through these crazy, malformed versions of these children's parents, and they look basically like humans, but they're also like genetically modified, and there's really no explanation as to why or for what purpose.
It looks like they were modified to also be broccoli.
Yeah, they got like.
Well, they're tumorous. That's the idea.
Yeah.
But like, it'd be more horrific to make them flesh-colored, so let's make them green. But only some of them. So the boy who trusted Superman is met by his father, and his father's like, Frank, you ran out on us, and now I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna kill you. So Superman kills his father. Like just
like in front of him.
Yeah, he doesn't really kill him. Frank thinks he killed his father, but he's like, no, he'll live. But what a life! You know, what can you call it living? And
I really should kill him, though.
Yeah.
But I won't. I'll let him suffer.
because I don't kill
What
or
are
use
they,
guns.
What are they doing? They're just walking around.
They're being led by these robots, which attack Superman.
Okay.
Why would these robots have giant sharp teeth mouths unless they were meant to use them?
Right. Well, they try to, but Superman smashes one of them, of course, and they're taking their orders from the dictators. The dictators are like transmitting orders to the robots.
Okay.
And thankfully, we don't need to think about it because Frank says it out loud. He goes, that's the dictators talking on their radio, and that's who's giving the orders.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay. What are they saying?
They're saying that they've identified that the American Superman has engaged the robots.
The American Superman.
Yes, that these dictators are foreign.
Oh.
Or foreign in a world that has no countries twice over.
No, he's foreign because he's from space.
Right. Yeah, he's the most foreign. So I believe that the jaws of these robots are used actually to like grind up human flesh because they use these humans. Some of them they modify and make into people who walk in a straight line, and others are made into man-bats or Batmen, and others still are used to make more horrible genetic monsters. Superman is going to fight these robots, but remember, he's not at full strength anymore for no good reason. And he claims that he could destroy them with his heat vision if he had it. And so one of his child soldiers says, you should use a gun and shoot it. And he says, that's a great idea, and then shoots it with a gun.
Oh.
Couldn't they do that?
A gun.
They could, but they hand it to Superman, so he does it.
You understand? By holding the gun, I can power the bullets even more.
Yeah, no, he just uses it.
I'm even stronger.
Maybe
Right.
he just has better aim than them.
I mean, clearly. He can certainly handle the recoil better. But don't worry, he defeats this robot, which is called a flesh harvester, which gives credence to my theory that the jaws are used to harvest flesh. So
I mean, that would make sense, yes.
Or just to scare you and make you.
I am called
they
the flesh
say.
harvester. I'm actually a vegetarian.
yeah.
That's my work name.
Yeah, that's my title. That's not all I am. So anyway, they leave.
I have a very nice feng shui garden.
Yeah, so they go further into the Batcave because like this is like kind of Bruce Wayne's lab
Oh.
or whatever.
This is all still part of the Batcave?
Sure.
Oh.
They leave, they get on their bikes, and they go back to Bruce Wayne's Batcave.
I
Okay.
see. They left.
They do that a couple times in this book.
Did
where
they rescue the parents?
No, because they're already too far gone. They just
Right.
leave them.
It's too late for them.
Plus, what are we going to do with them? They're just going to mill around in the Batcave. They're going to take up space. We don't have time for that.
It's depressing.
So, Superman points out that he is too weak to take another beating like he did from that flesh harvester. And so he needs to go back to the Sky City for at least a year to soak up enough radiation for it to be permanent.
For at least a year?
Yes.
Oh.
And so one of the child gangsters says, dude, this gigantic, awesome, image-inspired gun. This is too heavy for us to carry, but perhaps with your Superman strength, you could carry this totally bitchin' gun. And you could fire it. There's a little context plaque that names it. It's called the Expunger. And it is a weapon that Batman, like, I don't know, took with him as a trophy on the final case before Batman died.
Okay.
On the final case before he died, and yet he has this giant gun in his armory.
Yeah. Well, you know,
just like the gun that killed his parents.
He's keeping it safe,
Yeah. It's like Superman actually has a hall of weapons in his fortress.
No one
of
can
solitude.
use this gun if I have it in my museum.
Exactly.
But you could just dismantle it, man.
Yeah, but what if I need it?
Yeah, what if I needed to fight like aliens and crap?
Yeah, what if I needed to like mount on my car and just murder people?
Well, what if Superman needs it to wield on the cover of this book?
Right.
So
He's definitely going to do.
So Superman says
he can't be strong enough for that though.
No, he is.
Look at that thing.
No, he totally is.
No, he is.
But he's not going to use it.
That's
he says
all.
No.
He only has just enough strength to hold that gun.
Yeah.
At the end of the book.
Right. He was happy to use the gun against the robot because it's a robot. He doesn't murder people, and robots don't count. He also
Hear that,
like,
Killex?
Why? 1000100 boo hoo hoo hoo. So anyway, Superman like proselytizes for no good reason about how he doesn't kill. He's going to deal with these dictators as he is, as a Superman, as a moderately powered Superman.
Right. As
So
just a strong guy.
Yes. So they go to Wayne Laboratories, which has been perverted by the dictators. And so Superman and his child army on motorcycles and guns, which they're allowed to use, by the way. Superman's like, you wouldn't survive a day in Gotham City without your guns.
Yeah. I don't like guns, but I do acknowledge that you guys do actually need them in
you're
this
fine.
scenario.
And it's like, I kind of get Superman. See, like, because Superman understands that, like, some people need to use deadly force, but Superman's above it because he's powerful enough to not.
Right.
But he's not right now, so he's definitely going to use that big fucking gun. So,
But he didn't bring it.
So Superman basically issues a charge against the dictators outside of their Great Hall, which is a bastardized version of Wayne Laboratories, and that is, by the way, that's the underneath there is where their parents were being transformed.
So they're now at the surface level of that area.
Okay. There they are attacked by straight up mutated Nazi monsters. They also yell Schnell and other Call of Duty or Day of Defeat
I was gonna say.
sound effects.
Mein Leben!
Yeah, it's Wolfenstein. No.
Wolfenstein.
This dude played Wolfenstein.
Yep.
So Superman is like, bring it on! And then the Nazi mutates arrive, and they just look like rejected characters from ID Software. And if that wasn't weird enough, he's then attacked by mutated animals that have been modified vocal cords so they can yell words, and the words they yell are also like aggressive
Don't kill us,
words.
we come in peace.
No, they yell things like slay and massacre and kill, while the other characters are screaming in German. So it's just a cacophony of madness and nonsense.
Yeah.
So the children...
Yeah, but it's so cool.
It's just so dope. And so, you know, Superman's got to fight the mutated animal-people hybrids that also, they speculate, might be real people because some of them use big words. You know, like some of them are yelling slay and butcher and massacre, but others are saying derivations
Is this not the conquest of man?
No, they say
How
things
terrible.
like they say things like a homicide, patricide, fratricide, like they and they're like that guy must have been a professor, you know, or a cloned version of them. It's like
he's still yelling nonsense, but it's a larger vocabulary.
More syllables.
He passed the SATs.
Yeah. So then you start to notice that the Nazis are being led by twin Hitlers.
Twin Hitlers?
What?
Yeah. Like, there are twin Hitlers
that are
issuing
yelling
these charges.
orders from a platform that's higher up somewhere.
And those are the dictators.
Where did they come from? How did this come to be?
Yeah, why did we
they'll
get
explain
Hitlers?
it. They'll explain
Oh,
it.
okay.
But so the children are shot by bullets.
Oh.
And Superman's like, what? No! Don't shoot these children! Stop killing these children!
What?
And so they stop. And the Hitlers are like, hey, who told you to kill these children? And the mutates are like, you did.
You told us to slaughter and massacre and all
And
this
they're like,
other
we
stuff."
did not. We didn't tell you to do that. And so Superman's like, are there 2 Hitlers up here? And they're like, yeah, we're the dictators. We were cloned from locks of Hitler's hair that were saved after they created Ben Boxer and the robot, the Science Council. They made Ben Boxer and the robots and stuff.
Yeah.
They also made Hitlers. And there's no really good explanation as to why, but after they made the Hitlers, they then felt bad about it. Like, they regretted it, so they...
But we're not going to kill them.
No, they tried to kill them, but the Hitlers were too savvy.
Oh,
And
we'll
so-
kill ourselves in a bunker
Right.
first.
So the Hitlers, they duped them. They killed themselves, but they cloned themselves. No. But the Hitler, basically just the Hitlers got the drop on the Science Council before the Science Council could kill the Hitlers. And so they took over, and then they made the science people or science nonsense make mutated things. And that's where, like, this irradiated wasteland of monsters comes from. Like, the monsters aren't from, like, nuclear fallout. They're from, like, genetic experiments issued by Hitler.
I know that this is not where the book is going, because the book is going in a very sci-fi
Sure.
route. But I kind of wish that after they created the Twin Hitlers, like, went into, like, the occult stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like Hellboy crossover.
Right.
And we're like, no, we just kind of opened a portal to hell and brought about
These
demons,
things
and
came
that's
out.
these
Yeah.
man-bats and these mutated
Right,
things.
they're demons.
That'd be great.
That would be actually okay, even though it's a complete ripoff of Doom. But I would be okay with it because this is nothing.
I'm just very confused. When did all this happen?
At some point within the last 100 years.
Okay, and the Science Council that created the Hitlers, they're the same ones who created
The robot people, yeah.
people? Did the robot people know?
No.
Okay,
Or they're not related to the Hitler plan.
okay, that was a separate.
They're cut from the same
thing
cloth.
that the Science Council did.
Yes, but that's why I said there might be some kind of connection, because, like, the robots are clearly talking about, like, genetic purity. But then you
Right.
have, like, the twin Hitlers.
Okay.
And they're all about genetic purity too, but not because they're making, like, actually kind of
Monsters?
genetic monsters. So
okay.
So yeah, like, who's the real Hitler here? Twin Hitlers also stole Batman's body, and that maybe
Oh,
they're using
right.
Batman's genetic code to make these Batmen.
Yeah, but he wasn't a Batman.
Yeah.
No, but I merged them with bats because when they're in the cave, they are they see bat. I want to say they were attacked by bats, but they weren't. Bats fly by and they shoot one, and then Superman holds one up, and he's like, maybe they used these.
Well, but why do they need Batman?
Well, because
They're just-
Batman was great at what he did. You know,
Oh,
he's
I
smart.
see.
He's
That's not
awesome,
genetic.
I
He's
see.
strong and stuff. No, well, yeah.
So
no.
were they inspired to merge his DNA with that of bats because he was Batman?
Yes.
Or were they always going to make bats
No.
and they're like, Batman's
Well-
here, let's just use him because he also happens to be strong. It's just a coincidence that he called himself Batman.
Yeah,
You
no.
know, it's weird. We dug up the grave of Batman thinking he'd be a Batman, but he wasn't.
Right.
But
Now
we're
we-
gonna
now
use
we gotta do
DNA
all this
to make
complex-
Batman.
Yeah, now we gotta
Genetic
make.
shit.
Yeah, because we had this first idea. No. I mean, there's no explanation. So let's go
Oh.
with the one where they definitely just needed to make Batman, and so they chose bats to make Batman. Make it more poetic that way.
Right.
Because also the Batmen have, like, the same jawline as Bruce Wayne, which is why Superman thought that they were Bruce.
Right.
So the Hitlers issue Superman a challenge. They're like, you are awesome, and we'd love to borrow your genetic material to make Supermen. So why don't you go take a couple days, think about it, and come back?
What?
Yeah.
Think about if you want to donate your genetic code to us. What's in it for him?
Take a couple of days
Yeah, just take it. Well, however long you need is what the Hitlers
in
say.
case you get a better business offer.
Right. I promise you won't hear a better offer today.
Right.
So
that's
Superman,
how confident I am that you're going to come back.
The reason is because they needed to introduce the Hitlers, but also have Superman be able to leave the children and go get the big gun.
Right.
So they go back
He
to the Batcave.
leaves the kids there?
No, he doesn't. That's the whole idea, is that if he did get the gun without also being able to leave, he would have had to leave the children there. And
Right.
It's
But
just
so they
easier,
allowed
it's
him to
cleaner if they
leave.
leave.
Yeah. If the Hitlers decide, everyone just decides to stop fighting.
Yes.
And they can go home.
Right. Yeah. The Hitlers call a ceasefire.
Right.
And they send Superman and the children home to think about an offer he would never accept.
Yeah, after
Yeah.
they murder Stareye.
Well,
Yeah.
one of them gets killed. And they're
One
like,
of them
whoa,
gets
whoa,
shot,
that
and
was
they're like,
messed up. We
yes.
gotta just
Let's all
everybody
take
just
a breath.
calm down.
All right,
Because
all right.
if Hitler's known for anything,
It's compassion.
it's his compassion, his level-headedness.
Right. Okay, so I'm just trying to piece this together. It looks like maybe they thought they might lose, and so they're like, let's stop fighting.
I don't see why they would think that, because all Superman has is himself at like a quarter capacity and fewer children than he started with.
Right.
So Superman and the children go back to the Batcave. They get the BFG 9000, I mean the expunger, and then Superman's like, it is time to face reality. Like Ben Boxer said, this is the power of the gun. I gotta pick up this gun and finish World War II and end it here. Because World War II never stopped because the Hitlers are back.
Because there's still some Hitlers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when it winds up and Batman removed all the firing pins.
Right, that'd be hilarious.
It's like, I'm not going to make this, like, leave this in
You can't
firing
just come into my house and grab this
It's
and
loaded?
kill me with it.
Are you kidding me? That's just so unsafe.
No,
So-
I wouldn't do that.
Superman
I've got Robins running around.
Yeah. Well, no, remember, he only gets it on his last mission. So he actually just...
Robins were already gone.
He might not even have made the plaque. Superman might have made that plaque.
Oh, maybe.
Which is
Alfred
why it's
made the
better.
plaque.
Now, the reality is, Batman made the cardboard sign for his stupid gun about himself. Superman made the plaque. Or maybe Alfred did, yeah. Because Alfred's, you know...
Still around.
Yeah. We don't see Alfred. So, Superman goes back to the battle with the children, and he's like, Hitler's must have known that I'd never accept their offer, so he's
Right.
probably loaded for bear. And indeed he is, and we see there's like a total army of mutated monsters.
Yep.
And so Superman charges up his gun, and he issues them one final request to stand down.
And lick my balls.
That's right, because he's got balls of steel.
I'm Superman. Lick my balls.
Yeah, classic Superman line. He shoots all the mutants with his big gun. He says things like, this is for all the boys who died on the beaches of Normandy.
What?
Because, like, you know, World War II.
Yeah, but none of these people were there.
Neither were you, Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
those
I
aren't
guess-
even real Hitler.
I
Like,
guess because Hitler's are there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, Hitler wasn't a general. He didn't send them to Normandy.
Well, these Hitlers also don't remember that. They weren't alive then.
Right.
No, we're Hitlers. We have the memories of all Hitler.
Yeah. But the monsters who are being shot by Superman lament as they die that the Führers assured them that Superman would not shoot back because he doesn't use guns.
That's
So-
Batman.
Yeah. No, Superman too. Remember, Superman talks about how like bad guns are, but remember he abandoned his morals because he's Superman, and so he shoots these
Yeah,
monsters.
but I don't kill.
Right, but he does now with this gun. Oh. So
That's showing how badass he is, right?
that's right.
Well,
Look
that's
at
just how far he's been pushed
Yeah.
by the Hitlers.
Yeah. And it would take Hitlers to make Superman have to pick up the biggest gun in the world and shoot all of them. So Superman shoots all the monsters, and the Hitler's like, oh, Gott in Himmel, we need to collect Superman and his genetic material. Let's retreat into our cloning facility. So Superman like blows up some factory walls. They storm the laboratory.
I can't believe you missed
or,
the Hitlers.
I guess the laboratory.
No.
And they get in there, and so the Hitlers then unveil Batman at them.
But he's dead.
Yeah, but now he's back, and he's like a big, scary genetic monster with Bruce Wayne's memories.
Oh, God.
He's a clone Batman monster, and he says, like, Clark, I can't believe it's you. And Superman's like, Bruce, and he goes, you know I don't like guns. What are you doing? And so they fight, and so Superman...
Why does he fight if he has Batman's memories?
Because he's also genetically predisposed to fight Superman. Maybe they
He was
cloned
bred
Dark
for
Knight
that.
Returns to Batman. So...
No, they just cloned any Tima book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they fight, and you know, I've got Bruce Wayne's mind and Batman's black heart, and Superman's like, that's a good point. I used my super senses, which I literally couldn't use earlier today, and there's no way I would have any more of them. I would have less, but now I do.
Yeah, that's how power depletion works.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, I sense that you don't have a pulse or a heartbeat. You must definitely not be. Because here's the thing, you'd think like, oh, they used Batman's corpse and they like, you know, genetically modified it, or
Yeah, put stuff in it.
and in fact, Superman says, like, even though you two are clones of Hitler, you're literally Hitler. But this is a clone of Batman with all of Batman's memories, but you can't be him because you're a clone. So then in 2 punches he kills Bruce Wayne Batman clone monster.
Well,
So-
how can he move if he doesn't have a pulse or a heartbeat?
Right. It must be mechanics. They have robots too.
Because
Oh,
he's
maybe
a
so.
monster, Ethan.
But he's not
Monsters
a robot.
Don't have hearts.
There's flesh and crap there.
Yeah.
Some sort of biologic organism.
He absolutely is. So
But without a heart,
then the
okay.
Hitlers unveil Batman's actual body. He's in a coffin.
Oh.
They made like a weird Egyptian-esque sarcophagus where they literally made like Batman's visage on the outside of the sarcophagus.
Did they
cool.
like goopify it and then like inject it into people?
No.
Is that how they make the Bat monsters?
No, they literally just have Batman's corpse in his original coffin.
Yeah, they probably just took some tissue samples.
Yeah, exactly.
So that wasn't Batman.
No.
No,
it
that
was
was
a clone of Batman, which they
It's
said.
a gross clone.
So then the Hitlers take out their Tommy guns and they shoot Superman. And the children remark that the bullets are actually hitting Superman and they are making holes in him.
Oh.
That's what they say. The bullets are making holes in Superman. So Superman...
That is what bullets do, yes.
So then Superman picks up the big gun, the expunger.
Oh, yeah, I still got that.
Yells, "Curse you to hell," another classic Superman line, and murders the Hitlers and opens up Batman's hilarious coffin to reveal that Batman's body's in there, still wearing the Batman costume.
Oh.
He's all desiccated with a smile.
Uh-huh.
He was buried in the Batman costume?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ew.
That's who he really
That was
was.
his
That's who, yeah.
request.
The Batman was the real one the whole time.
Yes,
Look,
that
there
his
was
true face.
There was a grave for Bruce Wayne, and then there was a grave for Batman.
There was a mausoleum for Batman. Bruce Wayne was just
Had
left.
nothing.
So Superman collects Batman's body. They blow up the facility, or maybe the fire in the facility collapses it. They don't show them blowing up the facility.
Right, it's just...
But we do show the facility blows up, and then the whole thing caves into the ground, destroying the subterranean layer as well, killing all of the children's parents and all the genetic stuff that's going on down there.
Right.
And
Well, they were
Superman's
mutants
like,
anyway, so...
Superman's like, "I'm sorry about your parents." He doesn't even say I'm sorry. He says, "May they rest in peace. It's too bad, but moving on."
Right.
So then the children and Superman leave. Superman, who's bleeding to death, carries Batman's body all the way back to Wayne Manor. Superman's going to throw Batman's body onto the pyre and burn it so that no one can steal his genetic material ever again. And the explosion of the facility calls the attention of Bruce Boxleitner, whatever the fuck his name is.
Boxcar
Ben
Racer.
Boxer. And he's like, "Hey, we didn't blow up Gotham.
Yeah, you might have noticed, but
We
Gotham hasn't been blown up yet.
We don't explain why we didn't do that.
Yeah.
We just saw the explosion and figured we'd check out what's going on."
Oh, did someone blow it up first?
Yeah. No.
Wait a
We
minute,
had
I said don't
plans.
blow up Gotham. Why is Gotham blowing up? Somebody get me a plane.
Yeah, get me a spaceship.
Get
and
me
let's
down
rock.
there.
So Superman explains that he is dying. All of his internal organs are full of shrapnel and damaged beyond repair. So then Ben Boxer's
Like a computer.
Yes.
I have run a diagnostic. I am dying.
"I am dying."
My
His
internal
brain is
systems
kinda
are
like
failing.
that.
So Ben is
Fair.
like, "I can doppel your brain into a robot body like ours." And he's like, "No.
No,
My-
that would be an abomination.
Yeah, my time is finished.
That
This
is
world does not
gross.
belong to people like me." And he says, "Take care of the children, Ben. They're your responsibility now." And so he collects Batman's bones and he says, "Our time is over. Time for me to join you, old friend." And then he carries Batman and they walk into the fire together. And Superman just immolates.
Like the goddamn T-800.
It's like,
Da-da-da, da-da-da.
and then Frank, the kid who liked and trusted Superman, he takes his gun and he throws it in the fire and he goes, "I hate stupid guns. If it wasn't for guns, Superman would still be alive." And Ben is like, "Good for Superman. He sacrificed himself for what he believed in."
But guns are what defeated the Hitlers.
Yeah, we wouldn't have won without those guns.
No, we need those.
But also, fuck guns. Well, that's like the kind of lesson a child would take, right?
Right,
Like, it's
right.
incoherent, it makes no sense.
That gun is like what the Desiccator has in freaking
Yes.
Curse the
yes,
Spawn.
Yeah.
yes, it is. Yeah.
The expunger.
So, okay, I'm trying to pull some kind of lesson out of this.
No, there is
Superman-
no lesson.
They're trying it. They're like,
Yeah.
"Listen, the gun is like, you need guns. Guns are important."
Well,
Superman's like, "No, guns are bad." Then he uses them to full effect and with success.
because
Right.
guns are necessary.
Then
Well-
he refuses to use the biggest gun, and for his trouble, he is shot. Then he gets a bigger gun, uses it, is shot more, but succeeds, but then dies. But absolutely can survive, but refuses aid. You know what I mean? Like
it's like
the kid's like, without guns, he wouldn't be dead. But it's like without Superman's
yeah,
weirdo morality, he'd still be alive. Like he doesn't even need to be doppled into a body. They could just bring him up to the Sky City, and he'd be able to absorb solar
well,
radiation.
no, but he used guns to kill people, so he has to die.
Ah, you know,
He
maybe-
has been corrupted.
But if only the sun were closer, he'd still be alive. Let's blow up the damn sun.
I think the lesson is like, guns are bad, but sometimes bad people have them.
So you need
so
to
you
use them.
need to
You
use
need to be
them.
real. Dude, let's be real here. You know, like.
But then at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you can still be like, guns are bad.
But then once
okay?
you
Right,
kill
okay.
all the guys that have them, then
Then
you
you
can
can get rid of
throw.
them.
Then you can finally throw yours away.
Right. maybe the
only
whole
way.
thing,
Oh,
maybe it's set in the end of the
that's
world
just
because it's about nuclear disarmament.
Yeah, like
guess.
once the bad guys are no more, then we can finally get rid of our guns.
Yes.
Then we
Yes.
don't need them anymore.
We just have
We're
to
not
kill
disarming.
all the bad guys.
Yes. The Nazis are there, I think, so that you can just morally justify Superman killing people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
That's-
no, they're
yeah.
Nazis.
Right.
Oh,
He'd be
okay.
fine killing Nazis.
And that's the thing
Right.
is, like, they're Nazi monsters, like, they're mutates, but then it's like literal Hitler. And it's like, you know, it's not that they're Nazis or they're scientists who made Nazis. They are Hitler.
They are
What's
Hitler.
worse than Hitler?
Two
Two
Hitlers.
Hitlers.
Two Hitlers.
Yes.
Well, it's so stupid there's two of them.
I can't believe that.
This has some great lines like, afterward they were sorry they cloned us. They wanted to destroy us. But we destroyed them.
Yeah. I cut to the quick on that.
Like a 13-year-old could have written this easily. Easily.
Yes. But a
Is it-
13-year-old would have used hell and stuff. Like,
Is it possible that Veach really was just being like,
fuck everything. This is a joke.
you want an Elseworlds? No. Elseworlds was beautiful, and you're going to keep making them? I'm going to make the dumbest book you've ever seen.
Dude, then don't do it. Like, what are you doing, man?
I'm getting a paycheck.
Well, and why is it a sequel to another worse book you did? Like, at least this is shorter than the Commandeet at Earth's End.
Because
But, like,
he can say that, like, he's not just doing his own insane thing. Like, I'm building on
world,
what
yeah.
came before.
yeah, I
I'm
can't wait for
part-
the sequel to this. Like, Green Lantern at Earth's End.
Oh, yeah.
There are no more. This is it. This is the last one. Thank God.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an entry in the evergreen end of the world apocalypse trope.
I'm really glad I didn't guess from the cover, because I was going to be like, oh, it's the Matrix.
Right.
He has to fight off robots.
But yeah, because it's got
Yeah.
the
That is a straight up.
it looks like a sentinel.
Sentinel
Because it's
from the
got. I
Matrix.
mean, these are the gun belts,
Yes.
but it looks like the arms on
Yeah.
the sentinel.
No, it totally does.
Yeah.
It's inexcusable. The cover is just a texture.
Yeah, this is horrible.
It's a photo of a texture and then like a gradient behind him and then a
Yeah.
panel from the book.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even get
is nothing.
You couldn't get Gomez to draw a cover for this damn thing.
Nope. I'm not gonna do one more drawing for this fucking book.
Like I won't even draw a background.
No, it's
Yep.
garbage.
Nope, just use a panel from the book and then put it out.
Here, have a Nine Inch Nails album cover.
Yeah, sweet. Or a Slipknot album cover.
I might be way off with this, but I'm almost getting a Judge Dredd vibe from this.
I definitely feel you on that.
In the world building.
well,
Wait, like
Where it's like-
Stallone Judge Dredd?
No,
Well,
no,
there's like
like-
mutants and crap,
Yeah.
but it's the future, and there's some vague thing about radiation.
Right.
It's unclear.
it could be like a British interpretation of American fascism, like everything from 2000 AD, like
Right.
literally Judge Dredd or anything Alan Moore wants to talk about.
Right, and just like the randomness of it, like,
Yeah.
oh, then there's this
And
thing.
then this, and then that,
It's
and
like
it's
you
like-
think that you understand the world, and it's like, yeah, and then this other, and then
Yeah.
friggin' Judge Death. Like,
Right.
What?
What?
What? There's like ghosts and stuff? Like, what are we doing?
Interdimensional ghosts, but yeah,
Yeah.
like and then Hitler.
Yeah, it's just like, grah,
Yeah.
and then this crazy thing comes in. It's
Right.
like, what?
And it's like it's just the dumber it gets, the funnier it is to
Yeah.
me and my friends at this
Right.
fucking coffee shop.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's Adult Swim. It's anti-humor.
Yeah,
It's just the dumbest idea, and then I'm gonna
that's
make it a
the
little
most
dumber.
credit I can give it.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that it's deliberately stupid because it's just like, you know who will eat this up? Every American comic book reader. Ha ha ha
Yeah.
ha.
I'm making fun of you, and you don't even know.
Right. It's like, no, I definitely see it.
I do.
There's nothing subtle about this. And it's like,
uh,
yeah, I know. That's what you like, right? And it's like, eat me.
Does Veach hate video games and
Maybe he
Teenage
does.
Mutant Ninja Turtles and shit?
I mean, it's 1999. You know, I'm probably sick of him by now anyway. So
Because
yeah.
like that looks like a very deranged turtle to me.
I mean, it's actually like that is evocative of an image of the turtles standing on a rooftop.
I know.
It could very easily be a Ninja Turtles homage. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. But like, but why? Like, what are you doing?
Well, maybe he hates it. He's just like, this is where comics went. Like, that's gross. Look
Yeah.
at these stupid Saturday morning cartoon
What are you
bullshit.
doing? Why though?
Well,
you were
Is
given
this-
a job.
Is this what you like?
This is
you
a
like
story.
this shit?
You know what's funny? He's never
this
written
is
a
what,
Superman book.
This
Like,
is what's going to happen to kids.
right.
They're going to be these wild
Yeah.
maniacs.
What we're turning them into.
This is
running
the
in the
future of
streets.
Superman comics. You want me to write a Superman comic? I'm going to give you a Superman comic that's going to happen in the next 100 years. And it's like, no. Not even close.
No.
Now it's a relic where people go, I don't even know what you were trying to do. Like,
I don't even know what this is supposed to be.
It's just a famous bowl of stuff
Yeah.
that either Veach loves or hates.
Look at my samurai helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the apocalypse. I found shit.
Yeah.
And they live
I
in
found samurai helmets.
They live in Bruce
Gotham.
Wayne's house.
Oh yeah, maybe he had a samurai.
That actually tracks. And it's the only
Yeah.
thing in this book that makes any sense. But everything else in this is just a dog pile. I can't even. So there is no link in the description for you. But maybe, you know what? DC did make a collection of Elseworlds stories, all in like 1 or 2 or 3.
God help you if you find this.
But listen, if there is one, it's there. So if you want it and many things like it, it's there. But I caution you, it's a sequel. It's not its original story.
Right.
You got to read Kamandi at Earth's End. All 6 issues of that thing
Yeah.
that exists. And it's like, I can't believe after 6 issues, 6 issues of this, they were like, do another one.
Keep it going.
Keep it going.
Keep
But
this
what
gravy
happens to
train
that
rolling.
Superman?
How could they possibly
Yeah,
make
show
any
us the
money on those 6
Superman.
issues?
I can't imagine. I just can't. It's. But this is a classic back issues for me. This is like one of those where it's like, what the absolute fuck
Yeah.
were you doing? The image of Batman.
Yeah, what are they doing? Writing it? What are we doing? Talking about it?
Like, does anyone want to see that?
What are you doing? Watching the
Yeah,
episode?
What have you done?
What
with
are you
your-
doing?
I'm so sorry. You know, why
Why
did
are
you
you
guys
even
do Dark
here?
Knight's Death Metal?
Every time somebody asks, oh, it's gonna be another month.
Well, another Superman Elseworlds book for you. Next one is just about Superman's family living in the Old West. It's called The Kents. It's going to be great. You're going to love
Wait,
it.
is that a real book?
It's a real book.
Oh my god.
Superman at Earth's End is not representative of the Elseworlds brand, as it is a friggin' sequel to another Elseworlds book, which, like, they didn't do. Although
Yeah.
they did do Gotham by Gaslight, but only because Gotham by Gaslight is technically the first Elseworlds book,
Yeah.
and it's Batman.
Right, and it was good.
Right. The first one.
The first one.
Second one, not so much.
Yeah.
But fine. Also the original team. But it's the original team here too. Same team that made Kamandi at Earth's End did Superman at Earth's End. Superman just walking into the fire is like what I do when I'm reading this book. I'm just like, fuck this.
Sure.
Sure. Just let it
Yeah.
consume me. I'd
Yeah,
rather be
but
I'd
you
rather,
have to bring this book with you.
I'd rather burn
I have
alive.
to destroy it.
I'd rather burn
Yeah.
alive than live in this universe another minute.
Yeah. I could do a lot of good here, like I just did,
Yeah.
but nah.
I'd rather not. No, I
I'm
love
just-
that.
I'm just-
Superman's like, this world is not worth saving. I'd rather burn to death.
You know what? Can we just not?
Hold that thought. Whoosh. Oh my God.
The fuck language is Finnish.
French. Fini.
Fini.
That's what you put at the end of like a good piece of art. Just
Yeah.
mwah.
See, that's another. Oh, it's
Voila!
a joke. Oh,
It's a joke.
A friggin' joke.
Yeah. Superman burns alive while holding the dead husk of his perverted body of his best friend. And he's, Fini.
It is finished.
Merci beaucoup. Tom Veach.
Merde.
Yes, it's one word that can describe this book. It is merde. So yeah, see you next week. Thanks a lot for watching.
That's all. That's all there is.
It's over.
There's no more happening. Go away.
What are you still doing here?
It's over. Go home.
See, here's an ad.
Watch
There
another
you
one.
go.